All right, well, welcome everyone. I am Jonathan Mast, and I am here with Jeff Veal today. We are going to be talking about ChatGPT and how to unlock the power of ChatGPT in your life to learn how to save time and make some more money along the way. Really thrilled. I've got people popping in, joining as we're going. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. And I want to begin with some brief introductions. You may be going, why should I be listening to you and Jeff in this process? And let me just do a quick introduction on myself. My name's Jonathan. I run Whitebeard Strategies, and we are an AI-based marketing agency, and we help people develop topical authority. Hey, Luciano, how are you today, sir? Feel free to turn your cameras on. We'll try to acknowledge everybody if you're there. We appreciate it. With that, Jeff, would you want to take just 30 seconds and tell us a little bit about why you're here with me and what our goals are for today?
Sure, Jonathan. I'm Jeff Veal. I'm an Australian living in Asia. I run a digital marketing agency here in the Philippines, and I'm cooperating with Jonathan to get the word out there about ChatGPT and how exciting it is and the opportunities that we can all get hold of and grow our businesses together, guys. Let's do that.
Awesome. So if you guys have questions along the way, by the way, I do have the Q&A going. You guys are more than welcome to add into that, and we will get to your questions one way or the other. You're also welcome to do stuff in chat if you would like, though any of those are fine. But I'm going to go ahead and jump in and share my screen here a minute, and let's go ahead and talk through this process and see what we can do. So, all right. And I made the mistake of putting it on the wrong screen, so I'm going to be looking to the side, guys. I apologize a little bit about that. We'll try to minimize that. So let's start by talking about, again, our goal for today, unlocking the power of ChatGPT. And I want to begin by just welcoming you guys. Thanks for taking a couple minutes to join us. We're going to make this fast and impactful. We're not going to waste your time. I'm actually going to be sharing with you a number of prompts as we go through this. And if we have time, we're even going to open up ChatGPT and walk through that as a group. I'm going to show you how some of the prompting works. We're going to make sure that that is super, super smooth for everybody involved. But what can you expect today? Let me tell you just a quick overview so you know what to expect. First, we're going to talk about what is ChatGPT. You guys may know, but you may not. And if not, that's okay. We want to talk to you briefly about that. We're then going to talk about how do you use ChatGPT. If it's new or if you've not used it a lot, or maybe you just haven't used it since Monday when they totally blew everything up and changed things, by the way, for the better. We're going to show you how to use ChatGPT because they've made some amazing improvements. We're also going to talk about prompt engineering, what I call 101. Don't let the word engineering, though, freak you out. It's really just about how do you talk to ChatGPT in order to have it do what you want. And then we're going to open it up for Q&A. And I want to remind everybody, if you didn't see, at the end of the webinar here, if you stick with us, I'm going to give away my free guide on 187 different prompts. It's actually more than 187. It's almost 200 now. Prompts that you can use in your business. So don't get suckered in by everybody who wants to sell you 100 prompts for $99 or $9 or anything else. I'm going to give you all the prompts you need to get started. And all you got to do is hang with us to the end, and I'll make it super simple for you to get. So no obligation. You don't owe me anything. We're just going to give it away for you free. But I also want to let you guys know a quick disclaimer. I'm going to talk about ChatGPT today. And when I do that, that really pretty much applies ubiquitously to ChatGPT, to Google Bard, to Claude, the other AI tools that are out there. But in order to keep it simple, I'm not going to go down a litany of all the tools every time we get in. But so we're going to talk about ChatGPT today and really focus on that. First thing I want to do is I want to demystify just a little bit. This past week or so, I've had a ton of people reach out to me, talking to me about, is ChatGPT first? Should we be scared? Is this going to take over the world? And is it really artificial intelligence? And what I'm going to give you today is my opinion, but if you don't know me, I'm pretty strong in my opinions, and I'm confident about them. First, I want to let you know that for ChatGPT is not going to take over the world. AI is not going to take over the world. We are nowhere near the days of Terminator. If you've watched the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, Terminator, this is not the same AI that we're talking about today. Just totally different. What I want you to think about AI tools today as, really imagine that you had every encyclopedia, every book in the library, and you had immediate photographic recall of all of that information. And on top of that, you had logic to help you find things almost instantaneously. That's what AI is nowadays. So if I want to learn about something, instead of having to go to Google and have Google give me 20 websites and me hunt and peck and choose. I don't need to do that anymore. I literally can go into the AI tools, whether we're talking ChatGPT or Bard, Claude, Perplexity, you name it, there's a lot. I can go into those tools and I can ask it questions, and it's going to use its vast knowledge to let me know everything that I need to do, or it's going to answer that question for me. So it's not really, we don't have a robot here trying to figure out how they're going to kill us tomorrow. That's not where we're at. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about how can we use ChatGPT on a daily basis to make our lives better. And what I'm going to tell you about too is how I save in my personal life, on average, about 97 minutes or more a day using AI. And you go, Jonathan, you're full of BS. There's no way you're saving that much time. No, really, I am. I started a brand new agency focused on using AI tools to deliver value to my clients. And I run that agency right now, serving dozens of clients with myself. Well, I probably should say me, myself, and I, and an amazing assistant that I have 20 hours a week. I could never support the clients I do, provide the value that I do without AI. It is a huge fulcrum to leverage skill and to leverage talent and to leverage time to make your life better. And we're going to show you how to use some of that today. If you're not familiar with ChatGPT, I want to start by encouraging you to think about it as your digital assistant. You've always wanted to have an assistant to help you do things, to maybe help you write emails, maybe put this PowerPoint presentation together, which, by the way, I used AI to help me with, maybe to generate images, which, by the way, all the images you're going to see here, other than my fat face at the end, were all generated by AI. It is an amazing digital assistant. And here's some things you can do with it on a daily basis. One, you can use it to automate routine communications. Imagine, for example, we've all had it before. We need to craft an email, and maybe it's going out to a customer who's frustrated with us, and we're trying to figure out how do we do it. Or maybe we're just sending it to a boss or an employee, and we've got to write something really carefully. You know how long that can take to go through that process, to write a draft, to rewrite it, to think about it, to not press send while you're mad, all those things. ChatGPT to the rescue, guys. Pound out your email, throw it into ChatGPT and say, please proofread and rewrite this for improved readability and comprehension. And guess what? You're going to have one of the best emails you've ever seen in your life. And that probably can save you 30 minutes right there. And we're going to talk about a lot of other specific things here in just a minute. I'm going to share with you a number of specific prompts that you can use. And yes, if you're wondering, this presentation will be made available. I'll share it with everybody. So all the prompts I'm sharing and everything else, you can do screenshots if you want, but you don't need to. I will share it. By the way, a neat tip about that, this is not in the presentation, but if you grab a screenshot of the presentation as I go through and you go to ChatGPT and you upload it, it'll actually pull the text out of that image for you and let you see what exactly those prompts are. So that's just a quick freebie for you. We're also there's other things you can do, like content ideas. So as a business owner, I know a lot of you guys are entrepreneurs and running a business. We need to create content as a business. Sometimes that's promotions, social media content, blog posts, landing pages, stuff for our web pages, maybe just a sales letter we're going to send out. ChatGPT is an amazing marketing assistant, and we'll talk about some ideas there. Another thing it's really good at, I mentioned a little bit earlier about answering questions and having imagine every book in every library available to you. It's an amazing research assistant. And I'm going to give you a prompt today that's going to help you not only research topics, but also research your competition. So huge, huge things that you can do there. What I want you to do is I want you to think of ChatGPT as a tool that helps you gain more personal time. Realistically, you can do one or two things, or maybe both. You can get more done in a day with ChatGPT if that's important to you, or you can get what you need to get done faster and have more time to enjoy your family, your friends, your recreational activities. If you're like me, I love motorcycles and I love to have more time to ride. I have more time to ride thanks to AI. I have more time to spend with my family thanks to AI. And on top of it, I also get to deliver more to my clients thanks to AI. So let's jump into some real world prompts. Instead of just me talking theory, let's jump in and show you some things. And I'm going to go through a series of, I believe I've got about 8 or so prompts I'm going to share with you guys. Again, I will make this presentation available, so you'll have the opportunity to see it. But I'm going to talk to you about some prompts today about automating some routine communications, things that you're doing on a regular basis. One of the things I did, in fact, Jeff and I did just the other day, we were talking about putting together an SOP, or a standard operating procedure, for how to promote a webinar. This is the first time Jeff and I have done a webinar together. And one of the things we did, we had slightly different styles on how we do it. We've both got teams that are helping us out. So we actually collaborated. We spent maybe 15 minutes on it. And we had ChatGPT write a standard operating procedure that we can now share with both of our teams on literally step by step. How do you create a title for a webinar? How do you create the outline? How do you put the slides together? How do you write the social media posts that are going to promote it? How do you create the event on Facebook and LinkedIn and other areas? What platforms do you use? How do you share the Zoom meeting out? How many reminders do you send? You name it. It's all in this SOP. And we did it in under, well, right around 15 minutes. Huge value. That would have normally taken us an entire afternoon or more. And knowing Jeff and I with our entrepreneurial brains, it probably still would have been missing a bunch of things. ChatGPT filled in all the holes, and it was just absolutely amazing the way that worked. We talked about generating content ideas. Maybe you've got a new promo, or give you an idea. Yesterday, I saw somebody posted a pre-Black Friday sale that they're running. And I thought, wow, I'm not running a pre-Black Friday sale. I should do that. Use ChatGPT, and I went in and said, hey, I want to create a pre-Black Friday sale to encourage my prospects to do business with me before we get there. And guess what? It did it. And in literally probably 10 to 12 minutes, I came up not only with the pre-Black Friday sale, but the promotional text for it, and even the graphics that I needed to put everything together. So huge opportunities there. We talked about research and all that. Again, everything else. Let's go and talk some specifics. So here's the first one. Content creation. Everybody wants to use it to help create content. Here's one you can do. Create a blog post outline for, and by the way, when you see brackets in here, those are variables that you would put in your own stuff. So create a blog post outline for, let's just say I'm working for a chiropractor, for why chiropractic services make you more healthy. And it's ChatGPT is literally going to go ahead and create an outline and add more value and give you that ability. And then what you do is you take that outline and you have ChatGPT follow the outline and write the blog post for you. I did this with one of my clients yesterday in a training course, came up with 9 major points in the outline and subpoints underneath. And then we went through and just said, all right, write section 1. Now write section 2. Section 3. And by doing that and taking those responses, putting them into a Word document or a Google Doc and putting them together, we were able to create a blog post of almost 3,000 words, providing a comprehensive and exhaustive explanation of what he does, which is organizational dynamic coaching. That's a topic I don't even know anything about. But we were able to use ChatGPT to do that. And I asked him as a coach, he's been doing this for years, how is this, Todd? Is this good content? And he's like, this is absolutely amazing. So it's amazing what it knows. So that's one. Another way, imagine automating some of your customer service. If you ever had an email come in from a client and maybe they're asking a question you don't know about, or maybe this is just something your team can use more effectively, imagine using it to draft a response to a customer asking about your return policy. ChatGPT can do that. Now, one of the things I want to warn you about, you need to be careful. If you haven't told ChatGPT what your return policy is, it's going to do what we call hallucinate. They used to do that when they took drugs in the old days. I don't know, I'm not there, but it'll make things up. So you may need to tell it where it can find your return policy on your website, for example. But if you added into this a link and said, please draft a response to our customer asking about our return policy, and here's a link to it on the website, guess what? You would have everything you needed, and it would do an amazing job for you to get that done. It would be absolutely fantastic. So one of the simple things that you can do, very simple, and make that effective for you. Let's take a look at another. How about some market analysis and some market research? We've all seen things where we want to research what's happening with our clients, or maybe what's happening in the industry. I don't know what industries you're in, but I know in my industry, things change all the time. Like I said, on Monday, ChatGPT and OpenAI, the company behind it, literally made some absolutely earth-shattering announcements about total changes in what's happening for a good thing, many more features. How do you keep up on that? Well, you can have ChatGPT do research for you. Again, think about having maybe a website or something like that, maybe a news article. Summarize the key trends in my industry, my marketplace, whatever, my area for the last quarter. and it will give you the information that it has on that. And then you can follow up by asking additional questions. It's one of my favorite things to do with ChatGPT. Not only can I ask it a question, I can then ask follow-up questions. So when it talks about new trends in the area, I can ask it for more details on that. And again, I can do it like I'm having a conversation with Jeff right here today. Here's another great one. I don't know about you guys. I love email marketing. Why? Well, email marketing is great because it costs you virtually nothing to send these out. You're not paying postage. And here in the United States where I'm at, I know you're not all in the US, but it costs me nearly 60 cents to send a letter out to somebody. If I do that via email, it costs me essentially nothing. And that means I get a great return on investment because my cost up front is lower. The downside to email marketing is I need to write the darn email. While with ChatGPT, I don't. I can actually give it a prompt, like write a promotional email for my upcoming webinar that includes a CDA. By the way, that's a call to action for those of you that may not be into marketing to sign up. And it's going to do that for you. By the way, one of the things I add into almost every one of these prompts is a simple explainer, which is ask me any questions you have and allow me to answer before giving me your best response. Why do I do that? Because if it doesn't have relevant, timely information, it's then going to ask me and give me that opportunity to feed it. But I can create an email promotion here or even an entire email campaign literally in minutes, as opposed to hours or days or weeks that it did in the past. How about social media management? Again, we're business owners here for the most part, many entrepreneurs I know on the call, and we all know we should be posting to social media more than we do. But how do you do it? How do you make it work well? And how do we do it without promoting all the time? Because we know that if we just promote our products, nobody pays attention to us. So how do I create that amazing, engaging content that my audience is going to want more of and interact with and build my social media following? We use ChatGPT. Imagine a prompt like generate 5 catchy tweets. That could be Facebook post. It could be anything. Promoting our new product line of, let's say we're selling, we're going into the winter here in the United States where I'm at. So maybe we're selling nice warm gloves. So we want to talk about that. And we can say, generate 5 catchy tweets promoting our new product line of warm gloves to keep your hands warm in the winter. And what do you know? It's going to do that for you. And it's going to give you great stuff that you can use. It's also great. I talked to you early about writing and crafting emails with it. This is something that I do almost every day, generally 4 or 5 times a day, if not more. I'll pound out the email that I want to send. And then I'll go, it's probably not that it's bad, but it could be so much better. I could appear better, more professional. So I'm just going to take that. I paste that email into ChatGPT and I say, rewrite this email to be more concise and include a clear call to action. And it'll actually analyze what you wrote and rewrite it for you. And it'll make you sound brilliant. It's awesome. How about sales? We all need sales in our business and we need to get more sales. But sometimes we wonder, what in the world can I do? It's so hard sometimes as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you're in the midst of that woods and to see everything and to have a good perspective. ChatGPT can give you that. You can literally go in and say, generate a list of value propositions for my product or service for the following target audience or industry that I'm trying to pitch to. And guess what? ChatGPT is going to do that for you. It's going to give you that sales strategy. And it's, again, hugely valuable. How about maybe you've got, and this is one of the newer features, and I absolutely love this. Let's say you're in customer service or you're in management and you've got a volume of inquiries that have come in. Sorry, guys, just checking my some alerts coming up here. So I want to make sure everybody can hear us. Imagine you've got a volume of research that's come in and responses from customer service and your customers saying, hey, here's how they feel about your product, your service, your team. Somebody's got to go through all that and they've got to figure out what were the trends and what did people say. Imagine taking that data, which is probably already in a spreadsheet or maybe in a bunch of emails, and feeding that to ChatGPT and literally asking it through its data analyzer, which is one of the tools it has, to summarize the customer reviews and list the top 3 points or top 3 issues. You can literally provide ChatGPT with reams and reams of data now. Its current capacity is almost 90 pages of data. That's assuming that's like single spaced all over. That's a lot of data. You can also now upload PDFs. You can upload spreadsheets and have it analyze that for you. And you can then pull that data together and have it find trends, have it find information and give that to you. The other day, I had a client that we were talking about topical authority and how to build their topical authority online by creating content. And they wanted to review their Google Ads account and all the responses they were getting there. And they sent me a spreadsheet that probably had 30 tabs and literally thousands and thousands of records. A year ago, before ChatGPT, I would have probably had to say, I really can't go through this because it's going to take me a week to plod through this and find all the tips and the trends and what's going on. Instead, I uploaded it to ChatGPT and I asked it, I said, the customer that I'm dealing with wants to create topical authority in this area. Please analyze their following Google Ads data and tell me what keywords are getting the most clicks and ultimately result in the most conversions. And what was interesting about that is it didn't just then give me the ones with the most clicks. That's easy. But it calculated out the ones that converted into sales. And we were able to, within less than 20 minutes, analyze all of this data and have it come back and get the top 10. In this case, we went for the top 10 ad keywords that generated the most revenue for them. And guess what? That's what you want to focus on because that gave you your best return on investment. It's a huge value there. How about business planning? If you're like me as an entrepreneur, I have an idea at least 3-4 times a day of a new business I could start. My wife hates it, but it's true. I do. Most of those ideas, they're not worth the time it took to think them up. But sometimes I get onto something good. Have you ever had that experience? Now use ChatGPT to actually brainstorm and plan with you. You can give it your idea and say, outline a business plan for a startup focused on your industry or niche. And then leveraging emerging technologies or anything else you want to put in there. You can even have conversations with it. I'm using my phone as my camera right now, so I can't hold it up. But if you use the mobile app of ChatGPT, somebody's there. Guys, could I ask you some background noise?
Number to the north side.
If somebody could, if you guys could mute, I can't see everybody. So if you guys could mute, I would be grateful. Let me just see here if I can find out who that might be. I can't see everybody, but anyway, I apologize about that, guys. I can't get that over there. So, quick question. I just got a message that the content's not coming through. Jeff, are you seeing the slideshow? Yeah, you seeing the slideshow, Jeff? Okay, good. Just want to make sure that it's not universal. Awesome. So back to business planning. You can ask it questions and help you do that. As I was mentioning, if you've got the mobile app on your phone, and I'm using it, so I can't demonstrate, but hold your phone up and literally you can talk to it now. They have a voice activated and it will carry on a conversation with you. So I can start and say, I want to start a new business promoting dental offices in Michigan where I live. What's the best way to get started? And it will ask me questions. It'll go back and forth. It's almost like talking to a business advisor, but sometimes even better. And how about recruitment? We all are looking for good teams. Once we grow the business, we need good people on the team in order to make that work. We can use ChatGPT to help us write great ads. Just this morning, I had a friend of mine. He's looking to hire somebody that's an expert in a particular area. And he goes, does anybody have a job description? It's in a group that I'm involved in of other agency owners. And I grabbed his website address. I took the description that he gave, which was about a sentence. Hey, I'm looking for somebody that does the following. I pasted it into ChatGPT and I said, based upon the following criteria and a link to this website, write me a compelling job post that Jim could use. And I'm telling you guys, in less than 40 seconds, I had a great job description. I sent it over to Jim and he's going to probably tweak it just a little bit. But again, 40 seconds. Maybe 60 if I type the time it took me to type that in. Great value, great value. So truly, thank you. Great tools to use. So how do you get started? Those are a lot of prompts and maybe hopefully gave you some ideas on what you can do. But how do you get started? I want to encourage you to first and foremost, don't be afraid of AI. Experiment with it. Play around with it. Try it out. It's simple. You go to chat.openai.com. If you're not sure, just Google ChatGPT. It'll bring you there. You don't even need a paid plan to get started. You can use their free service and you can start asking it questions. I want to challenge you today to find an email that you need to rewrite or a social post that you're supposed to do today for your business and ask ChatGPT to help you write that or help you rewrite it. I think you're going to be amazed what it is. And I want to really encourage you, don't wait until tomorrow. Remember, done today is better than better tomorrow. Start today, use ChatGPT to do at least one thing for you. And I think you're going to quickly find how helpful it can be and how much time it can save for you. So I also want to give you guys a huge super tip. Everybody always says, Jonathan, how do I learn to prompt well? And prompting is that conversation that you have with ChatGPT. How do I give it good instructions? How do I get good stuff back out? Well, you get good stuff back out very simply. Talk to it just like you would a person. Imagine you're sitting with a coworker and that coworker is going to help you on that email. Ask and explain to ChatGPT just like you would the coworker. Here's what I'm doing. Here's what I'm trying to accomplish. Here's where I need your help. And you'll be amazed at the results it gets. The other super tip, and I didn't put this on the presentation, but I mentioned to you earlier, and this is a huge one. At the end of your prompts, say, please ask me any additional questions you need and allow me to respond before giving me the best possible response. You will find in most cases, it'll ask you 2 to 4 questions, and it will greatly improve the accuracy and the value of what you're getting. It's huge, huge value there. So those are 2 tips that I think can help you guys out a lot. So we're going to go to Q&A in just a moment. Before I do that, I told you we were going to be quick. We're not even 30 minutes in, and I'm going to give you the free bonuses, and we're going to go to Q&A. If you want to download some samples and you go, Jonathan, I need some help. I don't know where to get started. Click on the QR code, or you can follow the link there. It's whitebeardstrategies.com/AI prompts. It's going to redirect you to a page. All you need to do is give me your email address. I'm not going to spam you, but I need to send this guide. It's a big PDF. It's got almost 200 prompts in it. I can't send it out easily any other way. And so this is the way that I do that. If you do that, I'll send it to you. Again, I promise I will never spam you. That's not my goal, but you'll go ahead and get this. And it's 187 plus, nearly 200 prompts that you can use in your business today to get started. By the way, if you didn't catch me, I know a lot of people were joining as we were going. Don't fall for the buy 100 prompts for $9.99, guys. They're every guide I've tried, and I've bought a lot of them to check them out for my team. They're almost all junk. Look for great free resources like this. It'll get you started, and you'll know everything that you need to do. So that's the first bonus. The other thing is if you're intrigued by AI and you want to learn more, Jeff and I are both part of this amazing group called AI Prompts for Entrepreneurs. It's on Facebook. It's a free group. You can go ahead and you can join that. It is private. It's going to ask you a couple questions to make sure that you don't promote yourself and things like that. But we've got over 7,500 entrepreneurs in that group that are sharing tips and processes and best practices every single day. We literally have dozens and dozens of new posts every day going up from questions and answers and tips. It's an amazing place. If you want to learn more about AI, I highly recommend take just a moment and head over there. I think you'll find that to be a really great resource. So we're going to move to Q&A in just a moment. Jeff, before we do that, anything you want to add to what I've said before we open up Q&A?
No, I think you've covered it pretty well, Jonathan. I'm fairly new myself at ChatGPT as such, like only my last few months and been training up all my VAs onto it. Is there any merit, interesting one, in saying to ChatGPT, please and thank you?
That's a great question. And I got to be honest with you, I say it all the time because
Yeah,
I really
too.
do follow the premise that I was talking to you about I want to treat ChatGPT and the tools that we have just like I am an assistant that I'm working with or a coworker that I'm working with. And so I want to be able to do that easily and effectively. And the best way I find to do that is, again, it's just natural to me. I'm going to say, thank you. That was a great response. Please do this. Does it make a difference? I honestly don't know, but I'll admit I do it all the time.
Yeah,
So
me too.
definitely something I do.
Born that way.
So we've got a couple questions. I want to go ahead and get these in here for everybody. So one of the questions we got from Christina was she missed the URL for the free PDF. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that here a minute myself, and I'm going to paste it in the chat here for everybody. Let me just grab it. I got to find it here. There we are. And if you look in the chat, you will see a link for that. I'll also put in there a one for the group real quick in case anybody missed that one as well. Let's see here. Got too many things in my clipboard here. I got to find the right one. Bear with me while we get it. There it is. I use a wonderful little tool that saves all these things for me so I can find it, but sometimes you get too many and it's hard. So there's those links if you want to follow those. Laura asked, is most of the content from the paid plan with ChatGPT, and did I use AI to create the slides? Good question. So I actually used a tool called Canva to actually create the slides, but I used AI to create the content and the images on the slides. There are a number of tools in ChatGPT that integrate with things like Google Slide, Canva, and other things like PowerPoint and all that can go ahead and do that. Although I find that I don't get as high quality of slides as I'm looking for. So I still like to use Canva to do that. But to give you an example, I put together this entire slide presentation. Obviously, I've done this before, so I know that does help. But I did this just for Jeff and working with Jeff here. That entire slide presentation took me from crafting it, the outline, the text, and everything took me just over 30 minutes to put together. So not too bad if you've ever had to try to put together a PowerPoint presentation. Generally, it takes a long, long time to do that. The other question is did I use the free or the paid plan? So I am on the paid plan of ChatGPT. I think it's the best $20 a month I could spend. At least that's what it is here in the US. And again, I use it every day as part of my business. So it's definitely something that I think is worth it. Do you need to be? No, you don't. In fact, most of the blog content that I write, just as a segue, I write using what's called their API or application program interface. That's an advanced class. We won't get into that. But I use what's called their 3.5 model. That's their free model to do that. And I get stellar content out of that. So if you're just getting started and you're not sure the value, are they going to bug you to subscribe? Yes. Is it worth it in my mind? Absolutely. But don't start there right away. Begin by just getting started and playing around. By the way, there's a lot that you can do. I was just talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and he actually stopped paying for some of his other subscriptions because now within ChatGPT, not only can you create content and text, not only can you have it analyze and look at data for you, you can also have it create images for you. You can have it create images using its engine called DALL-E 3, and it does an amazing job of that. So the other thing you can do, if you don't know, Microsoft owns, I believe it is 49% of the company behind ChatGPT at this point. Cost them a whopping $10 billion. That's with a B. And they say it's the best investment they've ever made as a company at this point. Anyway, you can actually go out to Bing. I will admit I'm not a huge Microsoft fan, so I don't do it frequently. But you can go out to Bing online and go to Bing Chat. You can also download that for your phone, and you can access the premium version of ChatGPT. It's called GPT-4. You can access it for free. So you have opportunities to get around that if you don't want to pay for it. Some of the benefits of paying for it: first access to new releases. There's some things that came out Monday that I got access to yesterday that other people non-paying will never have access to because it's only going to be for paid subscribers. This webinar is not the time to go into all that, but there are benefits to it. The other benefit is I get priority. So because I'm literally using it hundreds of times a day, and I don't mean to kid you when I say that. Yesterday I checked and I did 134 prompts yesterday for ChatGPT. That's pretty typical for me. I get priority access, and that's one of the reasons that I pay for that service. There's other features that I get as well, but again, it's not necessary. You don't have to do that. All right, so Lisa's asking, what are the 2 statements you need to provide at the end of each prompt? Well, you don't need to provide these, Lisa, but let me share one of them with you here because I actually I use it so often that I actually have it saved. So the one that I recommend if you want additional information is please ask me any questions that you would like answered and allow me to answer prior to giving me the best responses to that question. I just pasted that in chat, so you should be able to see it right there and get that set up for you. So very, very simple and easy to do. And that's what I recommend. If there's another one you were thinking of, Lisa, just mention it, or Laura, let me know and I'll go ahead and do that. Laura, I see you've got a presentation in 2 hours. You can have an amazing presentation done. Let me give you, Laura, I'm going to give you the prompt that you need to do this. I don't have time to type it out, but I'll give it to you. And you can catch this. Go to ChatGPT, and anybody can use this, and say, I need you to create a webinar outline to allow me to present whatever your topic is to whoever your audience is. So again, create a webinar outline to allow me to present topic to audience and fill in your topic and audience. It's going to then give you a great outline. Then go back and say, please create me the slide text for each point in the outline so that I can copy and paste that into PowerPoint. And it's going to go ahead and give you great text that you can do. You can, and I don't know the plugins as well. There are over 1,000 plugins that are out there, guys. So I don't have all the plugins, but you guys can literally have it automatically create them. I don't have the ability to do that, so I'm not going to recommend the ways to do that. But if you just ask it to give you the text, you can copy and paste it into PowerPoint, Canva, Google Slides, whatever you use, and you can do that super, super fast. So that's what I'd recommend. So Lisa, back to your question about the two statements. I gave you the one. I don't know if there's others. Let me know and I'll be doing that. So DA Mathis says, will you give a class on the API and how effectively use it? If you guys want to learn about that, that's a really advanced thing. But yes, I would be happy to put together a class. Let me ask you, Jeff, what do you think? Should we maybe think about putting together a class on how to use the API? That's pretty advanced, but what do you think?
Yeah, I think something like once a month might be ideal in the coming new year, because it's chops and changes so much, Jonathan. As you know, there's all new stuff coming out all the time. That supersedes other stuff. So I think it'd be very advantageous to everybody.
Yeah, well, let's do that. Let's do it. And if you guys want to know as well, almost every Wednesday at noon Eastern Standard Time, so 12 p.m. Eastern, I'm in the United States, I do an Ask Me Anything live, and I literally show up live on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube. Jeff also does them. If you ever have questions, one, join our groups. Jeff and I both promote each other's groups. Jeff's got an amazing group. I'm a little biased, but I think our AI group is absolutely stellar. Like I said, over 7,500 members. I'm a little biased, but we get great compliments on it. And one of the reasons, by the way, we do is because we don't allow people to sell crap in there. Okay, you're not going to get bombarded with it. Jeff, you've seen that. Have you ever seen a sales prompt that's lasted very long before it got reported and removed in the group?
No, well, basically, I approve all mine. I might get an Indian chappie trying to sell curry in New Delhi, and I've got a global audience, so he doesn't make the grade.
Yeah, and so both of us, we try to keep that out and make it really valuable. But if you have questions about that, let me know. One of the things I do want to mention, and at DA, I appreciate you mentioning this in the questions because it's a really good point. You are going to see all kinds of AI tools that are available for $9.99 a month, $29.99 a month, whatever. Be careful. Most of those tools you do not need. Just the other day, one of the mastermind people I have in one of my masterminds, I do masterminds to teach this. And if you're interested, I can talk to you about that later. That's not the purpose of this call. But one of my mastermind members messaged me and he says, Jonathan, I'm trying to get ChatGPT to do this and it won't work. How do I do it? And I'm like, well, you just click here, and we're on the phone talking. And he goes, I don't see any of that. I said, well, send me a screenshot of what you're looking at, Jacob. And he sent me a screenshot, and he had inadvertently subscribed to a ChatGPT front end that looked, by the way, almost identical. The icons were almost identical, but he wasn't paying $20 a month to get full access. He was paying $24.99 a month, and he got like this much access. So don't fall for all the other things you need. Out of all the tools that are available, I pay for one additional tool outside of ChatGPT and Claude and Bard, the basics, okay? I do have the paid version of ChatGPT. I do have the paid version of Bard because I use G Suite for my email and everything else, so I automatically get that. I do not currently have the paid version of Claude, but I probably will before the end of November because it really is amazing. I pay for Midjourney, which is an image generation tool. So I do pay for some of those. The only other tool I pay for is a tool that I use that helps me create amazing content via the API. And that's it. There are no other tools that I pay for. And I want to tell you guys, I'm probably one of the most prolific users of AI you'll meet. And I use it every day in my business to deliver better value to my clients. So you don't need all these paid tools that are out there. Don't fall for it. The other thing I want to encourage you about, I get messages every single day from people asking about, I want to learn, where can I get certified? Guys, there are no AI certifications out there that are worth I can't say it, but my grandfather used to say something I can't repeat. There are no certifications that I'm aware of that are worth it. Period. End of story. If you want to build your business on AI and you want to become an expert, start using AI. Don't pay some schmuck to, $500, $100, whatever, to give you a certification that nobody's going to care about. It does not matter. All right, enough of my soapbox. Hilton's got a question. Do we need to disclose AI-generated content on social media posts? No, it's not required. I do have a disclaimer on my blog and on my website. If you go to the footer on the website, you can copy and paste what I put at Whitebeard Strategies or at jonathanmast.com. It's the same disclaimer. And it basically says, do you wonder how we created this content? Well, we did it with our team and AI. And by the way, it's a big point to make out I should have made earlier. I don't, as a general rule, just copy and paste AI responses in for content. You need to review it. AI, just like an employee, will make mistakes. It'll make stuff up sometimes. Don't just willy-nilly copy and paste things. You'll embarrass yourself. Trust me. So make sure that you go through that and you get that done, because that will make a huge difference. But as far as legal requirements to disclose, I am not an attorney. I am not up to date on all of the governmental regulations that our bureaucrats are trying to place on us, most of which I don't agree with or think are going to help, but that's a side story. I can't give you legal advice on that, but to the best of my knowledge, I certainly know there are tons of people that are using AI content on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter and that, and I've never seen somebody put a disclosure that it's there. I do choose to put a disclosure on my website, and the reason I do that is because in the event that somebody comes back and wants to know, I want to make it really easy for them to validate that, yeah, AI is a tool that we use. We call it AI-assisted marketing, AI-assisted content. It helps. It's like the presentation. The presentation is my presentation that I did today. It's not something that, ChatGPT made up. I guided it through, but it helped me and it made it a lot faster. Probably the exact same thing Laura's doing right now as she's getting ready for her presentation in 2 hours. She's using her knowledge and her expertise, but she's using ChatGPT to make that process more efficient. So I hope that makes sense. Jeff, you're asking, what's the cost of Midjourney? So Midjourney has different price points. I believe they start at $6 a month, and then they have a $30 and a $60 a month plan. I'm on the $30 a month plan, and the reason I am is I use Midjourney images for my clients. And in order to have, as I understand it, and as I've been told, to be able to create a license for those images to, Jeff, if I'm doing something for you and I'm giving you that image, I need to pay the $30 license in order to have that ability. Again, that's a business expense for me because it's part of what I do as a business. If you're just doing it for personal use, by the way, beautiful images, you can get away with the $7 a month plan. Also, remember, now inside of ChatGPT, you can actually have it create images. And guys, it does a pretty good job. I'm not as big a fan of it as I am in Midjourney, but I'm being really persnickety when I say that. If you need images for social posts, it does a great job. You need an image for a blog post on your website, maybe to put up on a promotion you're doing. DALL-E 3, which is available right within ChatGPT, and also, by the way, available through Bing Chat for free, does a great job. So great one. So Laura said, what's the image generator that I mentioned? So there are a lot of them out there. I use Midjourney, as Hilton pointed out. That's my favorite, and I like that one really well. As I just mentioned, you can also go right to ChatGPT and have it create images for you there. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen a minute. Let me show you how easy that is. Since everybody seems to have some questions about it, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So guys, I'm in ChatGPT here. Jeff, can you give me a thumbs up or tell me, can you see my screen? Is everything sharing? All right. So I'm going to just go into ChatGPT, start a new one. One of the great things they added on Monday is I no longer need to select the model I want. I can just go into ChatGPT and say, create, let's have it do this. This is fun. We did this yesterday in my group. Create a mascot for my business.
That was great.
I'm a digital marketer helping clients create online omnipresence and topical authority. If I could spell, there we go. Let's see what it does. It's going to create something for me, and we'll see what it does here in a minute. But again, notice I just type it in, and ChatGPT says, what do you say there? Creating images. It's going to take a second, but it's going to go ahead and do that. While it's creating images, I want to give you another tip on ChatGPT. You'll notice if you look on the side of my screen, I've got all these chats, and I could scroll down. There's thousands of them in there. Every chat time you open a new chat window, that chat window forgets all of the things you've told it and starts over from scratch. So it's a great way to keep conversations together. If I'm writing a marketing plan or a marketing campaign and I want it to remember what I do and that type of stuff, you can just keep in one chat and it will remember the things you've done. And then if I want to go look up a recipe for how to cook dinner tonight, I can go to a new chat and do that. So here's an example. Here's a mascot for my digital marketing business. And again, maybe I love it, maybe I don't, but I could do that. I could even then say, let's do something different. How about, and again, I talk to it this way, I really do. How about a photo, say a photograph of a horse in a field. And you're going to see it can do different styles. So the mascot, it assumed I wanted something fun and light. And so it created more of a cartoonish character there, kind of interesting and cute. Again, can use it, not use it, what I want to do. Now I asked it to create a photograph, and we'll see what different types of things it does. And it can create lots of different things for you. So here we go. Oh, it still did that. Now, this is why I like Midjourney better, because Midjourney follows instructions just a bit better. But let's try realistic photograph of a horse and see if that does any better. Again, imagine you're talking to somebody that's working for you and you gave them an instruction and they missed it a little bit. It happens to me sometimes. My staff asks me to do things and I mess up, but then you go back and go, no, what I meant to say was this. And you can do the same thing with ChatGPT and ask it to give you more information there. So it can be super, super helpful. And let's see, does it do any better? Drum roll. Yeah, quite a bit better.
Heaps better.
So again, don't give up if the first time you prompt it, it doesn't work the way you want. Keep trying. You're going to find that you get a lot of really, really good value out of that. So let's see. We've got a couple more questions. Hilton, thank you so much. How did I get those GPTs on the top left? Ooh, that's an advanced one. So quick tip for everybody. On Monday, one of the things that they released, and I'm going to share my screen again just so you guys can see what Hilton asked me about. Great catch, by the way. Good eyes, Hilton. Let me find the right. Here we go. So if you notice up in the upper left, I have ChatGPT, I have Hormozy GPT, I have AI, and playlist.spotify. Well, if you guys are entrepreneurs, you may be familiar with Alex Hormozy. Alex Hormozy is a guy out there who talks about entrepreneurship. In fact, I've got his book right, if you follow my finger right there, there's his latest book behind me. Hormozy GPT is brand new, and this is actually something that was custom crafted by a friend of mine. And what Hormozy GPT does is it's been fed all kinds of information on Alex Hormozy, his books, the videos he's done, the things he's said, his tweets, all of that. And now when I go in there and ChatGPT looks like it's having problems, it had problems yesterday. They announced this and their server load's been going crazy. So I can't pull it up. But when I ask it questions, it's now going to respond in a manner very similar to how Alex Hormozy would respond because it's got his information. And you may go, okay, that's neat. Here's the value, folks. Imagine you've got a business and your team needs to make your customer service team or your sales team. They need to know how do they keep all of your company information together and know how to respond appropriately when they have questions. Imagine as a customer service rep having the ability to go in and have upload. Now we can create these custom GPTs, they're called. You can create one. You don't need to know programming language. It's amazing. You could upload your company information. You could upload brochures. You could upload your website. You can upload your SOPs, your policies and procedures, your product information catalog. All of that can be uploaded and then made available as a private link to your customer service or your sales team. And they can then go ahead and query that and not get information generic from ChatGPT, but get information that's actually specific to your company using your company's data to do that. So, Hilton, yes, you're right. That is brand new. It has not been rolled out to everyone yet. If you are a paid subscriber, from what ChatGPT has said, you'll be getting it in the month of November, maybe sooner. I got mine yesterday about 3 o'clock. In fact, I was on a client call talking with a client about how to use GPTs because I'm part of also a very small group of AI geeks that are amazing, and we learn stuff. And one of the guys in the group, out of four of us, one of them had access, and we created that Hormozy GPT. Actually, he did it. I can't take credit for it. Casey created it. By the way, if you want that Hormozy GPT, go to the AI group. We give away the link for free in there if you want to get that. So, Hilton, if you're interested in that, or anybody else is interested in that, go to our AI group and we'll go ahead and do that. But yeah, it's rolling out. One of the most frustrating things, AI is moving so fast, guys, that when things roll out, sometimes you've got to wait hours, days, even weeks sometimes to get new features. It's because of how fast things are rolling out, and it's just part of life. I wish I could do something about it. I had to wait till yesterday. I was literally, like I said, on a call with people at 3 o'clock, and I refreshed my screen, and all of a sudden I had GPT. So it comes there. All right. So next, thanks for the kind comments, by the way, Laura and Luciano. Really appreciate those. We love your feedback. Really do appreciate that. If you like this stuff, by the way, let Jeff and I know so we can do more, and let us know what other things you want to learn. We would be more than happy to do more of these. Laura, you asked for a webinar on how to get or stay organized would be great. Well, Laura, I'm probably not the best guy to do that because I've got ADD and my mind goes a million miles an hour. But I will tell you that ChatGPT helps me in that process by, for example, one of the things I use it for is I've given it access to my calendar and my task list. And I literally will ask it to help me know what to do next. If you're like me as an entrepreneur, I have so many things on my task list and I see bright, shiny objects and I'm like, oh, squirrel. And I want to follow that. Okay. ChatGPT helps me keep organized and says, prioritize my task list and tell me what I should do next because I can't remember. I wish I could. I'm 54, but I can't. I couldn't remember when I was 14. I can't do it now. My guess is I'm going to get worse as I get older. So that's how I would use it there, Laura. And I think that would be great. Again, if you've got questions, not to keep promoting my group, but it's free. I don't make any money off it. I don't sell anything there. This is why I started the AI prompting group. Jeff also has a great group. If you go into the Business Gurus, you go to my AI prompt group for entrepreneurs, ask those questions in the group and you will have, between our two groups, over 10,000 people that are using it, and likely one or two of them has got an answer for you. So do it. Thank you, by the way, for saying the group's amazing, Laura. I really appreciate that. That's wonderful. So how do you give it access? So it depends on what you're trying to give it access to, Lisa. Lisa asked, how do we give ChatGPT access, like to a task list or calendar? What I do right now is I'm using Google's tools for that. So I use Google Calendar, I use Google Tasks, and I actually just use a plugin. Again, there are over 1,000 available in the plugin store to give, to give ChatGPT access to those so that it can query those for me. And that works for me. Another thing you can do if you don't want is I could just take my task list for the day and I could copy it, or I could do it, save it as a PDF. And I could upload that PDF to ChatGPT and it will read that for you. So it can do that very well as well. All right, we're coming to an end, guys. We want to wrap up by an hour, but we've got 6 minutes left. I'm going to hang out here. Jeff, I think, is going to hang out here for a couple more minutes. We've had great interactions, guys. We really appreciate that. Love to hear what you've got. If you got more questions, throw them in. We'll answer them for another 5 or 6 minutes here. And then again, if you want any of those free bonuses, just go follow those links. I want to just encourage you, if you've got to hop off, I want to respect your time, but please do yourself a favor and try ChatGPT today. And if you're using it, but your team's not, challenge your team to use it today. You will find that it helps you create a more efficient and more profitable business as well. And that's huge. All right. So Lisa asked, will Copilot have the same or more functionality? Boy, I wish I had a good crystal ball on that one, Lisa. I don't know. What I can tell you is that I absolutely believe that you are going to see advancements that we can't even imagine over just the next 90 days. The announcements that ChatGPT made on Monday probably invalidated, I'm going to guess, a third of all of the companies that were out there providing add-on services because ChatGPT just integrated them directly in. When ChatGPT first came out, there were extra services to surf the web. There were extra services to analyze a PDF, to analyze a video, to create images. Now they do it all dynamically right from within ChatGPT. We're going to see a lot more of that. The biggest changes that I think are going to see happening is you're going to see Google get serious about AI. They've been trying to do so. Their AI has gotten a lot better. I will make no bones about it. I think that Google Bard used to stink big time. It is now pretty decent. It's not up to par. I do think that you're going to see Microsoft continue to do well because, again, Microsoft owns so much of ChatGPT and they're integrating it into what they're doing. But there's also a big world outside of Microsoft's, and that'll be interesting to see where that happens. You've got huge investment happening in a product from Anthropic called Claude 2, an amazing tool. And again, direct competitor to ChatGPT. Amazon and Google, between the two of them, have just put in, I don't know exactly, but I want to say $50 or $60 million in the last 30 days into that company. So you're going to see huge things happening there. If you haven't been watching the news, I know I don't watch the news, but I catch AI stuff. Elon Musk, the guy who just bought Twitter and turned it into something he calls X, which is fine, by the way. He can do what he wants. It's his company. He just launched a new AI tool called Grok. It's not publicly available now, but is expected to be over the next, again, 30 to 45 days. And there's so much competition out here, folks. We're going to see tons more happening. And it's coming from around the world. It's not just in one country. This is happening around the world. It's a really exciting time. I believe this is akin to the Industrial Revolution, but it's the AI revolution. And I think as entrepreneurs, I'll leave you guys with this in the last few minutes. We have the opportunity to take advantage of the opportunities it's going to create, or to be an ostrich and stick our hand in the sand and go, this isn't going to matter. This is going to go away. I believe in 2024, yes, just next year, you are going to see thousands of millionaires made based upon AI and the things they're able to do. I hope to be one of them. I'm not at the moment. I'd love to say I am. I hope to be one of them, but I'm embracing those opportunities and taking those. And the key is, I have a huge abundance mindset. Jeff also has a huge abundance mindset. We're sharing those things with you. Just because I'm doing it doesn't mean you can't, okay? And vice versa. So we're going to be here to share and help guide you. And if you want this information, we don't ask for anything other than we appreciate it when you like our posts or comment. We love the compliments, but join us, follow us, join our groups. We're here to add value to your lives, plain and simple. So awesome. Guys, thank you so much. If there's anything else, do we get access to the slide deck? Yes, Hilton. So if you go to either Jeff's group or my group, so either the Business Gurus or the AI Prompts, you join those. I will save the slide deck there, and I'm going to upload this back to YouTube, so the replay will be available as well. Just so you guys know, with Zoom, which we're on, it may take an hour long. It may take 15, 20 minutes for that to happen. Probably Jeff and I talked for about 15 minutes prior, so I got to delete some of that stuff. It'll probably be a couple hours before it's posted, but I will make sure it gets posted today in both the Business Gurus. Jeff, is that fair to say you'll post it in your group too?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Jeff will post it. I'll post it. If you follow me on Facebook or YouTube or anywhere else, you'll see that as well. The same for Jeff. We both post way more than we probably should, but we want to share this information, so we'll definitely have that available for you. And Hilton said you just got the email with the prompts. Awesome. Good. Awesome. Yeah, Hilton, you're on. I can see you on camera. I don't remember. I know we're pushing 200. Do you have that open? Open up, and let's tell everybody how many prompts are in there, because I keep adding to it, but I don't remember. I think, and maybe it's not easy to find out, but I think there's 190 some now. I know it's more than 187. And don't worry about it. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but if you can't see, that's fine. Thank you for that. Guys, thank you, everybody. We're at an hour. We're going to let you go. I just want to truly thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining, and I want to thank you for being involved. That makes these webinars so much more fun. So thank you, everybody. Have an amazing day, and I hope you connect with me online. I'd love to chat with you. Make it a great day, everybody. See ya.
Thanks, everybody.